I'll bet no one told you this. By the time you're 80 years old, nearly half your muscle mass is gone. Not just your biceps or thighs. We're talking about deep core muscles, your postural muscles, even the ones that help you stand up from a chair or walk safely across the kitchen floor. And the scary part? Most people have no idea it's happening until they fall, break a bone, or find themselves relying on a walker they swore they'd never need. This is the silent condition known as sarcopenia, and it affects over 50 million seniors globally. But here's the good news. According to recent studies from Harvard and the Mayo Clinic, muscle loss is not an unavoidable part of aging. In fact, there's a growing group of people in their 70s and 80s who are defying the odds. They're stronger, faster, and more independent than many people half their age. They've discovered something different. Not miracle pills, not endless workouts, but 7 daily habits backed by real science that preserve muscle, boost energy, and help them move through life like they're still in their 40s. And today, you're going to learn exactly what those habits are. If you care about living strong and staying independent as you age, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. We post senior-friendly health tips every week, and you don't want to miss them. Comment below and tell us your age and where you're watching from. We'd love to hear your story. Why muscle loss happens after 60? Let's break this down simply. Muscle loss doesn't just happen overnight. It starts quietly. You feel a little more tired. Maybe climbing the stairs takes a bit longer. Maybe standing up from your favorite recliner feels like a workout. And then over months or years, it gets worse. Your muscles start to shrink. Your posture changes. Your balance goes out the window. This happens for 3 main reasons. Hormonal changes. Your levels of muscle-building hormones like testosterone and growth hormone decrease dramatically. Mitochondrial slowdown. The tiny engines in your cells become less efficient, reducing muscle energy and repair. Inflammation plus inactivity. Chronic inflammation eats away at muscle, especially if you're not staying active. But there's a big twist here. Researchers have found that this decline can be slowed, reversed, and even prevented if you start doing the right habits daily. Habit #7, cold and heat exposure. Let's start with a weird but powerful trick used by the world's strongest seniors, hormetic stress. Sounds fancy, but here's the simple idea. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Hormetic stress is a small dose of stress that actually activates your body's defense systems and makes muscles more resilient. One of the most powerful examples? Cold exposure. Ending your shower with just 30 seconds of cold water, taking a brisk walk on a chilly morning, or doing a 60-second splash of cold water on your face and neck. These tiny bursts of cold trigger brown fat activation, increased muscle mitochondria, and a hormone called adiponectin, which protects muscles from shrinking. It's like a natural wake-up call for your muscle-building systems. On the flip side, heat works too. Regular saunas or even hot baths activate heat shock proteins, which repair damaged muscle cells and support longevity. According to a Finnish study, people who use saunas 4-7 times a week had 40% less muscle loss than those who didn't. Pro tip, don't overdo it. You're looking for gentle stress, not extreme discomfort. Start with a 10-second cold rinse and build up slowly. Habit #6, time-restricted eating. Here's a habit that might sound unusual at first, but has been proven to reverse age-related muscle decline. Time-restricted eating, also known as intermittent fasting. No, this doesn't mean starving yourself. It simply means eating all your meals within an 8 to 10 hour window and fasting the rest of the time, typically overnight. Why does this help? Because when you restrict your eating window, your body enters a repair mode called autophagy. This is like your cells running a cleanup crew, recycling damaged parts, boosting mitochondrial function, and protecting muscle tissue from degeneration. A study from the Salk Institute found that just 12 weeks of time-restricted eating improved muscle quality by 10% in older adults, even without weight loss. But here's the kicker. It improves insulin sensitivity, boosts energy production inside your muscle cells, and even helps preserve lean muscle mass while burning fat. How to get started. Finish dinner by 7 p.m. and eat your first meal around 9 a.m. That's a 14-10 fasting cycle, perfect for beginners. Drink water, herbal teas, or black coffee during fasting time. It's not a diet, it's a rhythm, and your muscles will thank you. Habit #5, overcoming isometrics, hormetic stress #3. Here's one of the best-kept secrets of strong seniors. They're not lifting heavy weights all day. Instead, many of them do short, powerful muscle contractions called overcoming isometrics. Here's how it works. You push or pull against an immovable object, like pressing your hands together or pushing against a wall for just 5 to 10 seconds at full effort. Sounds simple. But these brief bursts of maximum tension wake up dormant muscle fibers, send a surge of anabolic signals to the brain, trigger muscle-building responses without joint damage. And because there's no movement, it's incredibly joint-friendly, perfect for people with arthritis, bad knees, or joint replacements. Even just 3-5 isometric holds per day can activate muscle growth in the same way as traditional strength training, without the soreness. Here's a great one to try. Sit in a sturdy chair. Place your palms under the seat. Try to lift the chair using your arms without actually moving it. Hold for 5 seconds. Rest. Repeat 3 times. Research from McMaster University shows that isometric strength training boosts muscle size and power in seniors, even if done just twice a week. Next up, we'll talk about one of the most common mistakes seniors make with protein, and how fixing it could add pounds of muscle in just a few weeks. Habit hash 4. Fix your protein timing. You've probably been told, eat more protein. And that's true, but it's not the whole story. Most seniors don't have a protein quantity problem. They have a protein timing problem. Let me explain. As we age, our muscles become less sensitive to the effects of protein. This is called anabolic resistance, and it means your muscles won't respond unless you eat enough protein at the right times. Here's what most seniors do wrong. They eat too little protein during breakfast and lunch. Then they overload at dinner and wonder why their muscles aren't responding. According to the Journal of Nutrition, this pattern wastes your muscle-building window. What works better? Distribute your protein evenly across all meals. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Here's what that might look like. Breakfast: eggs plus Greek yogurt or a protein smoothie. Lunch: tuna salad, beans, or lean chicken with whole grains. Dinner: salmon, lentils, or tofu stir-fry with veggies. And don't forget snacks. A handful of almonds, a hard-boiled egg, or a small protein shake can make a big difference. A 12-week study from the University of Texas found that seniors who timed their protein this way gained 1.2 pounds of muscle without changing anything else in their routine. The when matters just as much as the how much. This one shift can put your muscles into growth mode all day long. Habit hash 3. Restore your vitamin D levels. Did you know that more than 80% of seniors are deficient in vitamin D? And not just for bones. Vitamin D is nicknamed the muscle vitamin for a reason. Vitamin D activates genes involved in muscle growth, improves coordination, and supports your balance. In fact, studies from Harvard found that seniors with optimal vitamin D levels had 25% stronger muscles, better reaction, timeless risk of falling. But here's the problem. As we age, our skin makes 50% less vitamin D from sunlight. And most multivitamins contain only a tiny fraction of what your body actually needs. What to do? Ask your doctor for a simple vitamin D blood test. Aim for blood levels above 40 ng/ml. Most seniors need 2,000 to 4,000 IU per day to get there. You can boost levels through food too. Fatty fish like salmon or sardines, fortified dairy or plant milks, egg yolks, and for best results, pair it with vitamin K2 from fermented foods like natto, sauerkraut, or aged cheese. Why K2? Because it helps direct calcium to your bones instead of your arteries, preventing calcification and boosting the effectiveness of vitamin D. So don't sleep on this one. Low vitamin D equals weak muscles. Fix it, and you might notice better strength in just a few weeks. Coming up next, we'll talk about how chronic inflammation silently steals your strength and what 3 natural strategies you can use to stop it today. Habit hash 2. Lower inflammation every single day. Let's talk about a silent muscle killer that most seniors have never even heard of. It's called inflammaging. That's a fancy word for chronic, low-grade inflammation that builds up in your body as you age and slowly eats away at your muscle tissue. A landmark study from Tufts University found that seniors with high levels of inflammation lost muscle 3 times faster than those with low levels, even if they exercised and ate well. In other words, you could be doing everything right, but if your inflammation is high, your muscles will still shrink. So what do super-agers do differently? They fight inflammation from 4 key angles. 1. They prioritize deep, consistent sleep. Poor sleep raises inflammation markers like cytokines by up to 40%. Super-agers go to bed at the same time each night, Sleep in completely dark rooms, and avoid screens 1 hour before bed. Even one night of poor sleep can spike inflammation and accelerate muscle breakdown. 2. They feed their gut the right way. Your gut is the headquarters of your immune system, and it's linked directly to your muscle health. Aging often causes a drop in good gut bacteria. That leads to leaky gut, increased inflammation, and faster muscle loss. What helps? Eat 30+ different plants per week. Leafy greens, berries, nuts, seeds, herbs. Include fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi. Use prebiotic fibers like oats, garlic, leeks, and flax seeds. According to researchers at UC Davis, improving your gut microbiome can lower inflammation by up to 29% in just 12 weeks. 3. They avoid overtraining but stay consistent. Excessive, high-intensity workouts raise inflammation. The key is moderate exercise with occasional bursts, just like walking briskly with a few intervals or light resistance workouts done with purpose. Don't overdo it. Consistency beats intensity, especially after 60. 4. They eat anti-inflammatory power foods. Super-agers include these in their diet almost daily. Omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish or fish oil, 2,3 g/day. Green tea and berries for polyphenols. Turmeric, curcumin for its inflammation-fighting power. Extra virgin olive oil as the main fat source. Pro tip: you can track inflammation with a blood test called high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, HSCRP. Super-agers typically keep it below 1.0 mg/l. Most seniors are 3.5x higher. So before you jump to the next super supplement, check your sleep, your gut health, and your inflammation levels. They could be the real reason your strength is fading. Habit hash 1. Restore your neuromuscular strength. Now here's something most seniors, and even many doctors, overlook. You might still have muscle mass, but if your brain can't talk to your muscles, they won't work right. That's where your neuromuscular connections come in. These are the communication lines between your brain and your muscle fibers, like electrical wires telling your body to move. But after age 60, these connections start fading fast. The result? Slower movements, more stiffness, weakness. Even if you're eating well and exercising. Here's the good news. Super-agers actively rebuild these brain-to-muscle connections using smart habits. And you can too. 1. Practice precision movements. Basic walking or biking isn't enough. You need coordinated, complex movements that challenge your brain and muscles. Examples include Tai Chi, ping pong, dancing, tennis. Even playing piano or doing hand-eye coordination drills. A 2020 study showed seniors who practiced these types of activities preserved 31% more neuromuscular function than those who just lifted weights or walked. Use neuromuscular nutrients. Certain nutrients literally protect your neuromuscular junctions and help maintain communication between brain and muscle. These include alpha-lipoic acid, an antioxidant that protects nerves; acetyl L-carnitine enhances mitochondrial energy; vitamin B1, benfotiamine, improves nerve conductivity; huperzine A boosts acetylcholine, the key neurotransmitter for muscle activation. You don't need all of them every day, but adding a quality nerve support formula can go a long way. 3. Stimulate the vagus nerve. With breathing exercises aren't just for relaxation. They can actually improve muscle recruitment by activating your vagus nerve, which connects directly to your neuromuscular system. Try this once or twice a day. Box breathing technique. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Repeat 4-6 rounds. Studies show that this simple practice can boost neuromuscular activation by 15% in just 5 minutes. 4. Challenge your brain. This one's fascinating. A study from Columbia University found that cognitive training, like puzzles, memory games, or learning a new skill, actually preserves muscle function. Why? Because your brain and your muscles share many of the same pathways. If your brain stays sharp, your muscles follow. So next time someone tells you to do Sudoku or learn a new language, know that you're not just helping your memory, you're strengthening your legs too. Want to feel younger without lifting a single dumbbell? Start by reconnecting your brain and your body. This may be the most underrated anti-aging hack there is. Next up, a quick warning about the most common mistake that silently destroys strength after 60, and a bonus tip to supercharge all the habits you've learned so far. The mistake that silently destroys muscle after 60. Let's pause for a moment, because there's one critical mistake that undoes all the progress we've talked about. It's this: believing you're too old or too fragile to build strength. This mindset is more dangerous than weak muscles. Why? Because it leads to inaction. And inaction leads to atrophy, stiffness, falls, and, eventually, dependence. Many seniors think, resistance training isn't safe for me. I'll just stick to walking. I'm too old to get strong again. But here's the truth. Studies from Tufts University and the University of Alabama show that even people in their 80s can gain muscle, mobility, and independence through properly designed programs. It's not about lifting heavy or running marathons. It's about showing up, gently pushing your limits, and staying consistent. So if you're thinking, this all sounds great, but I'm too old for this, let me be clear, you're not too old. You're just getting started. We've talked about food, movement, and mindset. But here's one more secret that elite seniors swear by. They don't just focus on macronutrients like protein and fat. They focus on micronutrients, the tiny vitamins and minerals that make everything else work. Let's highlight a few that are often missing in seniors. 1. Magnesium. The Muscle Spark plug supports over 300 enzymatic reactions, including muscle contractions. More than 70% of seniors are deficient. Helps reduce cramps, improve strength, and support sleep. A 2021 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that seniors with healthy magnesium levels had 30% stronger grip strength than those who didn't. Best forms, magnesium glycinate or threonate. Best sources, spinach, pumpkin seeds, almonds, dark chocolate to creatine. Not just for bodybuilders. Yes, really. Creatine helps generate energy inside your muscles and improves cell hydration, making it easier to build and maintain muscle mass. Even better, it also improves cognition and reaction time. McMaster University found that just 3-5 g of creatine daily helped seniors increase muscle size, power, and memory when combined with light resistance training. Methylated B12, fuel for nerve-muscle communication. 12 deficiency is extremely common in seniors, especially those taking meds like metformin or antacids. This weakens both muscle power and nerve function. Look for methylcobalamin, not cyanocobalamin. Combine it with B6 and folate for best results. Mineral cofactors, zinc, selenium, chromium, these are small but mighty. They help boost insulin sensitivity, to shuttle nutrients into muscles, promote protein synthesis, support testosterone levels, yes, even in seniors. A long-term study from Tufts found that seniors who had optimized trace minerals preserved 22% more muscle mass over 5 years. Important. Don't blindly take everything. Ask your doctor for micronutrient testing and supplement only where needed. This way you save money, avoid overload, and fill the exact gaps in your body's needs. Now here's something important. Maybe the most important idea in this entire video. These 7 habits aren't just helpful on their own. When you combine them, they multiply each other's effects. Let me explain. Eating more protein is great, but if you're not getting enough vitamin D or doing any resistance training, your muscles won't use that protein efficiently. Doing cold exposure is excellent, but if your gut is inflamed and your sleep is poor, your recovery will suffer, and you might feel worse instead of better. Your body isn't a collection of parts. It's a living system, where nutrition, movement, sleep, mindset, and even breathing all affect your strength, balance, and energy. This is why many seniors struggle. They try just one thing, like taking a protein shake or going for a walk, but they don't see results, so they give up. But when you do just 2 or 3 of these habits together, that's when your energy returns. That's when your legs feel steadier. That's when your body starts building muscle again, even in your 70s or 80s. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to layer these simple actions over time and let the momentum carry you forward. Before you go, let's bust 3 dangerous myths about muscle loss. After 60. Before we wrap up, let's clear the air. Because there are some damaging myths floating around, and if you believe them, they could be stopping you from ever seeing results. Let's bust the 3 most common ones. Myth #1. I walk every day. That's enough. Walking is great, don't get me wrong. It supports heart health, circulation, and your mood. But here's the truth. Walking alone doesn't prevent muscle loss. It doesn't build strength, power, or stability, especially in the hips, core, and legs. To keep or rebuild muscle, you need some form of resistance, whether that's pushing against a wall, using resistance bands, or doing chair squats. Even 2 short sessions per week can transform your lower body strength and dramatically reduce fall risk. So keep walking, but don't stop there. Myth #2. It's too late for me to build muscle. No, it's not. Even people in their 80s and 90s have been shown to gain strength, mobility, and even regrow lost muscle tissue with the right plan. The problem isn't age, it's inactivity and missing nutrition. Your body responds to what you do at any age. Muscle doesn't check your birth certificate. It checks for the right signals, like movement, protein, sleep, and nutrients. You can get stronger. You can regain energy. You can rebuild. Myth #3. Supplements don't help if I eat healthy. This one's tricky. Yes, a nutritious diet is essential. But as we age, our ability to absorb nutrients from food declines, especially vitamins like B12, D, magnesium, and omega-3s. Medications like antacids, statins, or metformin can also deplete your stores. Supplements don't replace healthy food. They fill the gaps your body can't cover on its own anymore. Especially when personalized, based on testing or symptoms, the right supplement stack can accelerate recovery, improve energy, and even prevent falls. So if you're eating well but still feeling weak, tired, or foggy, supplements may be the missing piece. Bottom line, don't let these myths hold you back. Science and thousands of strong seniors have already proven what's possible. You just have to start. Let's quickly recap the 7 powerful habits that can help you feel stronger, steadier, and more alive, just like you did in your 40s. Cold and heat exposure, to activate muscle repair hormones, time-restricted eating, to wake up cellular repair overcoming isometrics, to stimulate muscle safely proper protein timing, 25-30 g per meal restoring vitamin D, for strength balance and reaction time lowering inflammation, with better sleep, gut health, and omega-3s rebuilding neuromuscular connections. So your brain and body work in harmony, and don't forget the bonus micronutrients, magnesium, creatine, B12, and trace minerals. The secret sauce most seniors miss. Now, you don't need to do all 7 habits today. Just pick one, the easiest one for you. Maybe it's walking to the kitchen and grabbing a high-protein breakfast. Maybe it's doing 3 minutes of box breathing, or just going to bed 30 minutes earlier tonight. Whatever it is, start now. Because strength is like a savings account. The more you invest in it now, the more freedom you'll enjoy later. Like this video if it helped you learn something new today. Subscribe if you want more easy-to-follow health tips every week. And comment below, which of these 7 habits are you doing already? Which one surprised you the most? Or tell us about someone in your life who's aging gracefully. We'd love to hear your story. And remember, you are not too old. You are not too late. Your body is still listening, and it can still respond. You just need to give it the right instructions. Stay strong, stay independent, and we'll see you in the next video.